Hello everybody, this is Catholic Dad, episode number 425, to teach a man to fight. Well, to teach a man to fight, first you have to take the fight out of him. And this is a little bit of a complicated topic, but the world that we're living in, we're bombarded with all sorts of stories that are supposed to enrage us all day long. All these laws being passed in Congress that just enrage us. High taxation, debt systems, the destruction of our nation, destruction of our culture, riots in the cities of America, burning things down, stealing of elections, you name it. Everybody's like, what do we do? Oh, we want to fight. Well, to teach a man to fight, first you have to take the fight out of him. Okay, this reminds me of a story. If you've ever seen the movie Gladiator, the Gladiator is Russell Crowe. His name is Maximus, right? And so he gets called into Caesar's tent in the middle of a great battle, at the end of a great battle. And so Caesar's telling him, listen, Maximus, you have a family, tell me about your family. And he tells him about his house and his wife and his son. And he talks about the olive gardens and the fruit trees and how he longs to be home. And then the Caesar tells him about the corruption in Rome and how he wanted to build this great empire where peace could reign, but they've been at war for all but 4 years of his rule. And that Rome is a rotten, stinky, filthy hellhole. It's essentially a corrupt body of politicians. And then he says to the gladiator, will you be the next leader of Rome? Will you be the next Caesar? I'm clearly dying. And then Maximus says, will you do me this honor? And he says, with all my heart, no. And Caesar says to Maximus, precisely the reason why it needs to be you. That with all your heart, you don't want the honor of being Caesar. You don't want the power. You don't want to seize control of things. And the reason why this is important, right? So man has all these lower inclinations. And when I say man, I also mean woman on this one. We have all these inclinations to control things, to have power, to have fame, to have fortune, to have, and in reality, the battle's within our own heart. I'll give you some examples in society here. You see these social justice warriors speaking about the inequality of people, and that all these injustices and poverty and like social classes and economics and so on and so forth. And yet some of them are overweight. Now, I'm not making fun of old people. Everybody has their cross to bear. But when somebody who obviously has more than they need are complaining about society that things aren't equitable enough, well, now you have to start thinking about it. Like, why are they fighting before they figured out in their own heart? They're obviously consuming too much, which means they're consuming resources that could be used elsewhere. And then they go out to society and they're screaming and yelling about the inequality in the world. Well, they're part of the problem. So the fight that you needs to be directed inward. It's the whole biblical story of don't complain about the splinter in somebody else's eye when you have a beam in your own eye. Like, you got massive problems. And then you see this in the church too, right? Yeah, you see these traditional Roman Catholics complain about like homosexuality or whatever else, and they're all mad about it when they haven't mastered chastity in their own hearts. Like, literally, you got to master your own heart first. And so once you go deep down into your heart, and again, this is Lent, by the way, we're at war with ourselves and war with the evil in our own hearts. When you go into your own heart, and you have to master your chastity first, before you can complain about somebody else's chastity. You have to master your own gluttony before you can complain about somebody else's gluttony. And if you then master those things, right, then when you go to battle, you won't be angry. So like literally, you'll be like, well, now it's time for battle. Now I'm going to go try to help the rest of the world, right? That I really am doing this now out of a sense of the duty, because if I master my own heart, I now understand how hard it is, right? Now that I understand how hard it is, this is a battle I can fight with charity. It doesn't have to be, these people that are mad about the news and mad about the state of the affairs of the world and mad about, stolen elections and mad about, they got much bigger fish to fry. And I think everybody knows that. Like, when you see somebody angry about the state of the world, they have a troubled heart. They do, because the state of the world is what it is. It's like we're not living in a horrible time right now. We have freedom of travel. We have cars. We have food, unlimited resource. We have all these great things. Like, literally, we only have to go back a couple generations, and our grandfathers were storming the beaches of Normandy. It's like, really, like, you're upset about stolen election? You are, huh? Like, half the guys didn't come home from that. And so to teach a man to fight, you have to first take the fight away from him. and make him go deep into his own heart and attack himself and tear himself asunder and destroy his own internal, his desires, and not destroy them, but correct them and learn how to manage life with them. And if you get that, like literally, if you live a prayerful life and you start mastering your marriage, your fatherhood, your motherhood for that matter, and like your work relationships and everything else, and you walk through this world with charity and you master your own heart, you become a beacon of light. You do. And then when issues do arise, you could speak to them with wisdom, right? Instead of just anger, sheer anger. I'm so mad about this, you're destroying this or that, the other thing. Yeah. Don't listen to those people, everybody. Anyway, and that's the great part, by the way. The church is so charitable, it gives you confession. So, like, if you can identify what's wrong with your own heart, I mean, you know what it is, right? You identify what's wrong with your own heart. You go get rid of it. You throw it away and you give it to somebody else. And then it's going to take a while. It's not that easy to do. But you keep doing that, pounding away at that sin, pounding away at that sin, pounding away at that sin. Eventually, you could habituate good behavior, and then you can overdo that, right? Then you move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It's a battle over the course of your lifetime. We as Christians, we're a ball of clay, and we're constantly molding ourselves to finally become the David, like the perfect man, right? Or Christ. We're trying to do that, and I don't know. I always I'm very hesitant when I see men complain about the state of the world. I'm very hesitant because it's like being around a bunch of women, and I'm not complaining about women, by the way, but men don't complain, right? We literally understand what's right and wrong, and we walk towards it. That's it. After we correct ourselves first. All right. Well, this is Catholic Dad making you think about it. To teach a man to fight, first you have to take the fight out of him. And God bless you. Get the Mass, pray the daily rosary, get the confession, and like, subscribe, share with your friends. God bless you all. Thank you.